The Dishonored franchise has to be one of the most immersive and rewarding game series about. The original and its sequel both delivered fantastic experiences, and now a little under a year after Dishonored 2, we're now receiving Death of the Outsider, a smaller standalone expansion that delivers that same high quality we expect from developer Arcane Studios. This game follows Billie Lurk, a character that first appeared in a DLC pack for the original game, and she did appear for the sequel and she had a more prominent role in that game, but in this game Billie's been promoted to the protagonist. Set several months after the events of Dishonored 2, the game follows Billie as she tracks down her old mentor Dowd, who's being held captive by a cult named the Eyeless. After rescuing him, he asks Billie for her help for one last hit, The Outsider. The story here feels much better than the second game as it has an interesting setup and the story conclusion is pretty decent and a nice end for the Outsider story. One of my favourite things about the Dishonored series is the cool powers you gain thanks to the mark of the Outsider, but interestingly enough, Billie doesn't bear the mark. She instead receives her powers from some sort of artifacts, and straight from the get-go Billie has far fewer powers than that of Corvo and Emily, but that doesn't mean they're not good. First power we have is Displace, which is basically this game's equivalent to Blink, but instead of travelling immediately, Displace will leave a marker to show you where you'll spawn. It may sound a bit awkward compared to Blink, but it's very useful if you do get crowded by enemies. Displace is very useful with Billie's second power, Foresight, which allows you to pause time and inspect all around you, allowing you to highlight enemies and place displace markers as well. Foresight is a very useful power and it does help you from accidentally entering enemy line of sight. Billie's last power is Semblance, and it's probably the most interesting one. Semblance allows Billie to steal somebody's identity, simply knock someone out and hide the body and you can slip past the guards with ease. Just note if you kill somebody you can steal their identity. Billie also has a sizable arsenal of items at her disposal like swords, mines, grenades and volcanic guns, as well as a few other fun items, so there's plenty to experiment with. One of the Death of the Outsider's biggest changes comes from the fact that your void energy regenerates now, so you haven't got to worry about looking around for potions. You can go mad with the powers, which is great, and it allows for more experimentation and more risks. Another change sees the chaos system being stripped out completely, which means you can kill as many people as you like without any consequences. It is a shame to see this feature has been took out, but it does make the game more friendly for new players. As for the levels, this is where the game really does truly shine. Arcane has always had a talent for creating fantastic environments. While the first level is very small and acts more like a tutorial area, the rest of the levels are huge with plenty of room for exploration and experimentation to tackle levels. A simple level that could take about 10 minutes to complete if you rush it can take all the way up to 2 to 3 hours if you take your time and do all the side bits and various other things. Talking about the game's length, Death of the Outsider consists of 5 levels that can take you around 3 to 5 hours if you rush it, all the way up to 8 to 10 if you take your time. Each level also has several mini-side quests called contracts, which can be tackled for extra cash, and can add a fair bit of time to the game's run length. They're fun, and I hope we get more of this in the next Dishonored game. One thing with Dishonored games is that they all beg to be replayed, and Death of the Outsider is no different. As well as being 2 different endings, once you complete the game you also unlock something called Original Game Plus. This mode allows you to play through the game again, but with powers from Dishonored 2. It's a cool idea and it allows for even more experimentation and more content, which is great for such a cheap game. On the technical side of it, Death of the Outsider is also a real looker. Revisiting Karnaca is a delight, as well as visiting some new areas of the city. The game has some superb lighting and it all runs very smoothly, and surprisingly, I experienced no glitches or technical problems during my playthrough, which is very good. Conclusion time now, and don't let that budget price fool you. Yes, it may be a shorter experience, but Death of the Outsider is another brilliant game in the Dishonored franchise. With some fun new powers, a great new protagonist, and plenty of replayability, Death of the Outsider is well worth the price of the admission. Death of the Outsider gets an 8.5 out of 10 with the title of Great. Thank you for watching my review, like, rate and subscribe, and until next time, happy gaming. Bye!